We finished restoring your 1973 Nishijin Model A Pachinko machine, and this quick start guide will show you how to set it up and play. The first thing we want to do is shut the ball drain lever. Over here on the right side of the machine there is a thin wire loop, and we need to lift that loop up. That's the shut position. Down is open. I'll just point these features out as we're going across. Here's a cover. You can just pull down on it to release it from the catch, and you can flip it up. That's your jackpot seesaw. If you ever need to get carpet fuzz or anything out, that's how you get inside of there. Here you have a lower track cover, so you have two tracks. There's two tracks for balls to run down. A little paper clip looking wire here. If you push down on that, it'll swing open. Again, you can get inside of here if you ever need to clean. Close it, we'll just push it back. Now this is called your recycler tray. It recycles lost balls, and it uses those to feed your jackpot assembly to make payouts. The most common problem with these Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw in the wrong position. It's behind this recycler tray. You can see a little white part with a white hump on it. And it has two Pachinko balls in it, and it pivots. It does like a seesaw, up and down, up and down. When it's in the down position, your machine won't work. It won't pay out any jackpots. You can still play, but you wouldn't get any jackpots paid out. Balls would just back up in your machine and cause a jam. So you always need to make sure that that seesaw is in this position. And the way you do that is a couple different ways. One, you can just stick your finger back in here and push down, and that will pivot it up. Another thing you could do is, I'm going to go ahead and move it. There's a metal wire here, and this wire is obviously attached to the seesaw because you can see them both pivoting at the same time. This part has a wire here, and that wire, this horizontal wire needs to be underneath it. So sometimes people will pull it out on the outside. It actually needs to be under that one so it can reset it. So see how it moves it up. That's all for here. Next we'll connect your battery. You have two lights. You don't have to have the battery connected on the machine. No, I didn't put the seesaw in the right position. There we go. This light comes on here to let you know that your brown supply tray up here is out of balls. There's a switch right here, so as I were to pour balls in the machine, this arm would move and it would turn out the light. So when that comes on, fill this tray up. This light here is the light that flashes when you get a jackpot. When that seesaw pivots up and down, it moves this switch, which causes the light to flash. Now, if you ever play without balls, without the lights, which you can do because it works off of gravity alone, if this tray is ever empty, you can also tell you need to fill it up because there's a wire back behind here that goes all the way down the machine to the front, and it controls the sign up front. Let's take a look at that. So this red, white, and blue sign in this window, it'll drop down whenever you need to refill the machine with balls, and when you add balls, then it'll lift up out of the way. Also, when that sign is down, it'll drop a lever in here, and any balls that are in your play tray, they won't be able to flow into the shooter assembly until you add balls. Add some balls to your play tray right now. When you add balls to the supply tray, they'll roll down this upper track, make this turn, come down this tube, and enter into your recycler tray. As the balls go in the recycler tray, they'll roll across a couple of tracks, and it'll move a couple of levers underneath here. These levers will pivot up and down where my fingers are, and those levers are attached to wires. There's a wire that goes all the way back up here. You see this part pivoting, and so whenever there's enough balls in this tray, this will pivot up and it'll block the flow of balls from here to here until you've got won a few jackpots, and once you have, this tray starts to empty, then this will release to fill back up this tray. We'll go ahead and pour some balls up here now. Okay, and I usually just pour a few more extras in here. Next, we'll take this little blue bucket with the cutout in it, and we'll set it right here. It'll catch balls 2 times. One, if we were to hit that open shut lever and it empties out all the balls out of the back of the machine, they would all flow into here. The other is, if your recycler tray ever gets really full, there is an overflow right behind my finger here, and a ball would go in there and it would drop behind all of this and into the bucket. I'll do that now. So that was really the only reason you'd need the bucket. Otherwise, the recycler tray, all the balls come back here, and so you usually don't need the bucket on these Nishijin A's. Okay, to play Pachinko, there's a chrome post here. You just put your index finger against it, then you take your thumb and you set your thumb on this chrome flipper here. And then you're going to pull down on the flipper and then slide your thumb off. And when you slide your thumb off, the flipper will pull back up with a spring and back, and it'll launch a ball up this lane. It'll come across, hit a bumper here, bounce back into the playfield. It'll ping down off the nails. These round spinners will redirect the ball, and then the object of the game is to either get it to go in this top pocket or the main attraction or any of these tulips or jackpots. If you get it to go in any of those, you win. You'll see a light flash here. The balls will fall down. They'll hit a bell, and you'll hear the bell sound, and then they'll come out in your play tray. No matter which one of these it goes in, it's the same exact payout. The same thing happens. The only thing that might be slightly different is if any of these tulips are closed and you get a jackpot, depending on where that ball is, it may open some of the tulips. So these are fixed pockets. These other ones are tulips. They have wings, tulips, and they're open. When a ball goes in, they close. If they're closed and a ball goes in them, they'll open. Now the first time you shoot, nothing will happen because we just loaded the machine. So what it's actually doing is loading a ball into the shooter lane. Now we'll do it again. Okay, we got a ball to go in this pocket here. This tulip here has a hole in the bottom of it, so as the ball goes in there, it drops straight down to the next one. So it passed through there, into here, close both of those, and then we got a payout. We'll play some more. Okay, we got several more jackpots. I'm going to zoom in so we can see the center attraction. We'll want to open the playfield door because I'm going to actually drop some balls in so we can see what happens as we get those jackpots. And the way you do it, on the back of the machine here, there is a lever. And we're going to lift up on that lever, and when we do, it'll pop open the playfield door. So now we can swing that open, and I'll zoom in. Okay, this top pocket, it looks like a tulip, but it's really not. As the ball goes through, they'll temporarily close, and then they just fall right back open. So if the ball goes in there, it'll just drop straight through, enter in this center attraction here. It might flip his eyebrows down, and then it could drop through his eyes. A ball could go back through there, or it might pass on through. We'll go ahead and drop one in, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it dropped in, and it went over to the left, and it opened up these two pockets. You can gently move your finger up to close them, although you never really want to close them, Just don't use your fingers to try and open them. If you need to open them, you just drop a ball in. I'm going to drop another one in. I'll drop one in on the right side. That one did open this one. It was already open, but if it had been closed, it would have opened it. Now I'm going to drop one right in the center. Okay, no jackpot paid out because I'm out of balls. I need to fill up balls on the back. But actually the center, when it goes in the center, it'll either go left or right. And so the center light came on here because the jackpot started to pay out. It wasn't able to finish because there weren't enough balls, and so the light is staying on. So we'll go ahead and add some balls to the top. And then it was able to pay out its cycle. So we've won a lot of jackpots, and the play tray is getting pretty full. So what we want to do is we want to empty out the play tray, and the way you do that is this white lever here. You slide it over to the left. The balls will flow from here to your receiving tray. Now if they don't flow, it could be that they're all jammed up from the weight of the balls. So you just take your finger and you kind of loosen the balls. You may even have to flip the flipper. Playfield door open and all the balls out of the play tray, I want to show you how to open the play tray door. There is a lever right here that you push down on it, and when you push down on it, you may also have to grab the tray and then swing it open. Swing it open, and that gives me access to the shooter lane in case there's the wrong size ball in here or something you need to get out, carpet fuzz. You just reach in there and pick up the ball. Now I'll show you the back of the door. The back of the door has the shooter assembly on it. And this is what actually loads balls into the shooter lane. So as you're pulling down on the flipper, let me zoom in. So as you pull down on the flipper, that spring, that's the piston that launches the ball. But you can also see that clear plastic in the back moving down. And that little part there, as it moves down, it actually pushes this plastic post here down. So as it pushes that post down, you saw the ball jump up, it actually loads it in the shooter lane. The other thing is, here's the wire that goes all the way back up to the tray in the back of the machine, and when it's low on balls, you know, it'll drop down or raise up. And here is the wire for the sign on the front of the door that lifts up and down. So as you close the door, you just have to make sure that this wire goes above that wire. Here's another shot of the shooter assembly on the back of the door. I'll just keep, the machine's not in the right position. Okay, that's one way to get the balls out. The other is you could pinch the ends of this and then squeeze it open, and in case you needed to get anything, if there was any carpet fuzz or anything else in here, that's how you get that out. Just squeeze that closed. Then whenever you go to close the play tray door, what you want to do is you just want to kind of lift up just a little bit as you're closing it, and maybe also push down on the latch. That way it closes. Now we'll close the playfield door. Just going to squeeze it tight. And now we'll empty the balls out of the machine. Okay, that concludes this quick start guide. We sure hope you enjoy your machine.